want to say great day, a great day on 11/21, 2024, and you are in tune today to House Calls with your man, Dr. Rory T. Edwards. And today we're going to share a little something since we spoke about last week about lies. Has what's the greatest gift ever given to mankind? And if I told you it was the lie, would you believe it? Today, we're going to jump into something I think on the opposite side. We're going to talk about truth on trial. And I want to know, has truth taken a back seat to lies? And so, one of the things that we want to definitely address is, has truth become minimal in our lives? Once again, you're listening to House Calls with your man, Dr. Rory T. Edwards. If you need to send us an email, you can do so at rorytedwards1 at gmail.com, or you may send us a request for some therapy, some counseling, some consultation at www.rorytedwards.com. So, I want to ask the question today: has truth become a relic of the past, overshadowed by the convenience and the allure of the lie? The allure of the lie. Has it? And so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to address three questions. I'm going to share with you some historical lies that have been diminished to take away the truth of them, and how we have began and how we have continued to believe that these particular truths are more valuable being lied about. So I want you to see what I just said. Are they seem to be more valuable in the lie form than with the truth. And why is that? But we're going to talk about today, why do lies seem more palatable than truth to modern culture? How do the value of truth shifted over time, and what are the consequences? And the third question we're going to talk about, what can we do to reclaim truth's rightful place in our lives and in our communities? But one of the things is that truth versus lies is more than a debate. It's about the foundation, the trust, the integrity. It's about all of those things that put you in a place that gives you the best opportunity to be who you're supposed to be. Once again, like I tell you, the motto of the Rory T. Edwards Group is, you cannot withdraw what you did not deposit. So if you're going into trying to make a withdrawal and you didn't put in the work, you're definitely going to be leaning more towards the lie than telling the truth about your true value to whatever situation you're trying to be involved in. I want to talk about two sayings most people heard. You say, when something occurs, it's always a saying about there's three sides to every story, right? It's the one person's side, it's the other person's side, and then it's the truth. But why do we need the truth in there if everybody's story doesn't match up? Because we are modifying our version to make it accompany what we believe how we were right. All right. So that's what we got to do. There's one person's side, there's the other person's side, and then there's the truth. There's also a saying that says, "Be careful what you profess with your mouth, because one day somebody's gonna make you prove it." And so, as we continue to go through in life and we go through conversations and we go through how we fabricate sometimes who we really are, we are going as far away as we possibly can from the truth. Why is that? Why are we going far away from the truth? Because we're in a society right now where it's fast paced. We want to look fashionable. We want to glitter. We want to be glamorous. Everything that we operate through is some fabrication of the truth. We talk about people who go out and buy expensive items, but really don't have the income to supplement those items because they're trying to become something that they really are not. They're going so far away from their truth that they are willing to sacrifice the outcome to be accepted in the moment. And that's how you navigate from lies to truth, how you bounce back and forth from lies to truth. But when we stay in the truth, it makes us a committed person to our outcomes. It makes us a committed person to our words. Now, when you design your whole agenda, then you have to put a plan in place so that you stay truthful to the outcome. You stay truthful to the steps. You don't cut corners. If you cut corners, you're going to find out in the end the results are going to be a little bit different if you stay within the process and stay within the truth of your outcomes. And so, as we talk about that, I want to talk about the first one. Um, why do lies seem more palatable than truth in modern culture? There's a few things why. For convenience purposes, right, and comfort, lies often provide convenient escapes from uncomfortable realities or accountability. See, the truth is going to make you uncomfortable. And if the truth makes you uncomfortable, then what's going to happen is you're going to work a little harder. You're not going to say that I am in this particular place and I haven't put the work in to be in that place. So you can lie and say, well, yeah, yeah, I got there, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You know how many people I run across who are constantly telling me about who they are without realizing that all you have to do is go online and Google them. And you can find out that 90% of what came out their mouth is a lie. Why do you go so far away from the truth to try to impress somebody? Because what's going to happen, again, be careful what you say with your mouth because someday somebody's going to make you prove it. So you also have to do that in a sense where you understand how the truth gives you the energy, gives you the power to go after what you really want and how you are really placed at the dais of life. So many people want to sit up at the head table, but you have no qualifications to sit at the head table. Work towards sitting at the head table. And when you do, you can stay away from the falsifications of information that you're giving to people that really, really is not who you truly are. One of the other things is that they align with what people want to hear rather than what they need to hear. And it offers emotional comfort, right? How many times do you go to people and you say, I need to talk to you, but you go to the person that you know is going to justify what you say instead of going to the person that's going to tell you the truth? Because we say sometimes the truth hurts, but it's not that it should hurt. What it should do is it should give you energy for you to progress in a very productive way. So that's what you need to be trying to pursue instead of trying to go to somebody just to make you feel emotionally comforting because they're saying exactly what you want to hear. How many times have you gotten into a discussion with somebody and then you call your friend and you say, I want you to be truthful with me. And then as soon as they start to become truthful with you want to get mad and you want to hang up the phone. You got to understand that, yeah, the truth is going to hurt sometime because you've been living in a false reality for so long that you believe that it's your reality. And it's really not. So let's move on to the next one. It's the role of social media. Algorithms amplify sensational and falsehood because they attract more engagement than factual content. That is so true. How many times have you looked on I forgot even what the handle is, but one of those algorithms that you see people fighting in the community or people road raging and getting out and getting into a dispute. And you look at how many views that has, and it has 2 million views. And then you look at a graduation of all male school in Chicago, and it has 400 views. See, people don't want to look at this is the truth of negative information that's being put out on the internet that we don't have young men of color graduating high school. And then when we do have a situation where we see an all male school that is putting out 500 graduates who are all going to college, it gets 400 views. But you'll go online and you'll like two people getting into a fighting match or a screaming match or an insult match, and that'll be 2 million views. You see what I'm saying? It attracts more engagement than the factual content. So that's why the truth is so very difficult for some people to navigate through because it's not sexy anymore. It's not sexy. I'm gonna tell people things that I think that they need to hear so that they'll like me. And if you're in this world for people to like you, guess what? At the end of the day, end of the road, you're gonna be a very hurt and lonely person because people are only gonna like you when they can connect to you through the falsehood of your narrative. And if the falsehood of your narrative doesn't complement how they think, then they're not going to associate with you. So, instant gratification culture. We're in an instant gratification culture. So many people don't want to do the work. So many people don't want to seek the time it takes to be satisfied with the outcome. They want it right now. How many times you've heard people say, "Nah, I don't want to wait. I want it right now." But you haven't put in the work. That's again the motto of the Rory T. Edwards group. You cannot withdraw what you did not deposit. So if you haven't made a deposit, please don't go to the bank and try to withdraw. The bank of life will not give you anything that you have not earned. That's what we got to do. And we're also now in a mistrust in the institutions. We don't trust the institutions. We don't trust media. We don't trust media. We don't trust government. We don't think education is providing the right tools for our children or for adults who are going to college. It creates a space for mistrust to flourish because we're unfamiliar with the truth. We don't want to. We would rather gravitate towards the lie because we want to blame it on somebody else instead of us being the answer to this the solution to the question. If you want to be truthful about something, be the solution to the question. All right? That's what we have to do. One of the other things that we're going to talk about is that even though people are still, I still hear people talking about the election. The election's over. There's nothing that your words are going to do to change the outcome. There is, though, something that you know that's going to happen in the next 4 years. There's going to be another election. And now, if you feel that there was some distrust, there was some lies, there was some things that occurred in this election that did not get the proper candidate in office, then what we need to start doing for those who believe that it's time for a change, then you need to start galvanizing people right now in the space of truth so that you can make the changes, right? Most of those people who are on TV talking about their biggest concern was the economy, they don't know anything about the economy. They know about their economy, their own personal economy, their economy. They don't know what's going on in the world, where the money's being dispersed to, who's getting the money, who's allocating the money to different places. They have no clue about that because the government only gives you what they want to give you, and media will only take a little bit of what they want to give you and give to you. So you're living in a mistrusting environment through the sources from which you receive your information. So you need to seek the truth and find out how you're saying the economy was your biggest concern. Okay? Now, let's talk about some of the things that are lies that were really origins of truth. The stories were manipulated to change the narrative so that it could complement one person or one group or one opportunity over another. Let's talk about something that you all are going to celebrate next week. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to come on next week on Thanksgiving Day also. Um, and I'm going to share with you at the end what my topic is going to be. I think you'll enjoy it. I'm not going to be long when I come on because I know you're going to be sitting around with family, but I'm going to give you a solution, I think, that can help during the time that you have the greatest amount of family around you, that you can talk about some things that will now start to design a culture of truth. Well, let's talk about this festivity, right? Let's talk about the origins of American Thanksgiving, right? Let me tell you the truth of that. And then I'm going to tell you how it was replaced by a lie. The truth of that was the early interactions between Native American and European settlers were far more complex and often marked by conflict, exploitation, and mutual interest. The Wiley celebration of first Thanksgiving in 1621 often depicted as a harmonious feast between pilgrims and Native Americans, was likely a pragmatic alliance rather than a heartfelt celebration of friendship. Okay? Now, let me tell you how it was replaced by a lie. The myth of Thanksgiving as a moment of pure unity and gratitude overshadows the historical content of colonial expansion, resource exploitation, and eventually displacement of native people. The narrative perpetuates a sanitized version of history that ignores the struggles and contributions of the indigenous community. See, that's what it was replaced with. We put these pictures up. We have the kids in school color pictures and make it a big festival, like um, it was all uh, a great accomplishment and a great feast that sort of celebrates and sort of depicts what we do now. We bring in all of our family members and we have a great feast, but not really understanding what the truth of this was and the lie that it was placed replaced about. Let me tell you another one. African contributions to ancient civilizations. Let me tell you what the truth is. Ancient African civilizations such as Egypt, Nubia, and Mali were advanced societies with significant contributions to mathematics, science, art, and governance. These civilizations profoundly influenced global development and culture. Global development and culture. Now, let me tell you, the lie was replaced by, right? Eurocentric historical narratives have downplayed or denied the African origin of these civilizations, often portraying them as work of external, non African influences. This erasure perpetrates stereotypes of African inferiority and overlooks the continent's rich historical and cultural heritage. That was the lie that was replaced, that they didn't create these pyramids and this culture and didn't have Timbuktu and didn't have all of these things that design and are duplicated in today's not even duplicated, copycatted in today's society. Because what happens is that if you give people the power that they were initially given by the creator, then it makes them a powerful people. But if not, if you keep them in a situation where they were told and they believed that they were not smart enough to design such stuff like this, and that aliens came down and designed it, well, why haven't aliens come back then? Why haven't aliens come back to design? If that was the case, aliens could have came and popped up 9/11, the towers in a day. If it was aliens who assisted us in building the pyramids, why haven't we seen aliens back now to help rebuild cities that are affected by states that are affected by Mother Nature? Why is that not so? Because you see, we've been embedded in the lie so much that we can't even connect to the truth because we don't know how to accept it. We don't know how to accept it. And the other one I want to talk about is the contributions to the Moors to modern civilization. The Moors, a diverse group of Muslim inhabitants from North Africa who ruled part of the Iberian Peninsula, so it's modern day Spain and Portugal, from 711 to 1492, made significant contributions to the advancement of modern civilization. They brought unparalleled knowledge and innovation in areas such as science, mathematics, architect, medicine, philosophy, and agriculture, profoundly influenced the European Renaissance. Now, what was it replaced by? The Moors' role in shaping European progress has been downplayed or erased in favor of narratives that minimizes their influence. The erasure perpetrates Eurocentric histories that deny the extent of which Islamic and African scholars advanced European thought and technology. Now, a lot of us may have heard some of this. It depends on if you choose to be a scholar and research this, but most of you have accepted what you have been taught. And so, has truth been replaced with falsified information to make one group or different model groups to feel inferior to someone else? They say who has the pen is the mightiest of the history, right? So if your history is not written in the books, then what's going to happen is that you are not going to realize the contributions that you made. And as we see in modern day, we see the political push of removing Black history and other historical contributions from the history books in schools. Well, if it wasn't important, if it wasn't important, why do you have to remove it, right? The only thing you remove something is because it's the truth, and you remove it and replace it with a lie, right? And so we have to fight for things that are very important to us. We can't allow our kids to continue going not knowing historically who we are as a people, as a contributor, Native American people. We got to change the narrative in a way that it comes back to being the truth. And nobody should feel bad about it. Nobody should feel bad about hearing the truth. Whatever your contribution is, that's your contribution. And hopefully you made a great contribution. But if you didn't, then um, you need to understand that again, be careful what you profess with your mouth because someday somebody's going to make you prove it. So if you're living in the space of the lie, I would say just continue to try to transform out of that by developing not just the truth of your narrative, but also the truth of who you truly are. All right, that's my time for this week. So next week on Thanksgiving, while you're with family together, I want you to set up some time to discuss how you can support one another in dream building. So we're going to talk about that a little more and how we can create a climate of generational wealth building instead of wondering who made the potato salad, right? We're going to talk about that next week. We're going to talk about beyond the table and the game, redefining the term family tree. I have some great things that I want to share with you all that I think you can do while you're sitting down with your family. You're going to bring in all of the family we know. You might not have some family available, but what I would suggest if you can't get the family at the table, then do a Zoom call with the family so that you can talk about how you can do some generational wealth building at the greatest time that you believe is the most celebratory holiday where you bring most of your family together. We have to stop thinking like we can't be great communities and start thinking like we are great people who design great communities, who design great culture, who designs great legacy. That's what our purpose is in life, to design an immaculate legacy. All right? So that's my time this week. I hope you enjoyed. Please share. Don't forget, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please send me an email, rorytedwards1 at gmail.com. And again, you can consult with us at my website, www.rorytedwards.com. We look forward to speaking with you. We look forward to helping you navigate through this journey because please believe we do have the resources to help you make the greatest decision you ever want to make so that your life is fulfilled in the purpose and in the place it's supposed to be fulfilled in. All right. So until we talk next week, and if you're traveling and I don't speak to you before then, I want you to say, be safe in your travels. They say the most, they say um, the most, the biggest day that to travel will be the greatest congestion will be on Tuesday from 1 to 3 p.m. So if you're traveling and you're driving, either get there before then, get on the road before then, or get on the road after. And Tuesday, 1 to 3 p.m. But if not, be safe in your travels, and I'll definitely talk to you next Thursday on the Thanksgiving holiday. Until then, be blessed, stay well. Ashe.